Hello, Namaste, and welcome to my channel. I am your host Nagesh Deshpande. Today's episode will be all about AI. Now that AI is here, everybody is using it, we would like to discuss about career growth options for agile professional in the AI world. To speak on this topic, we have speaker Balaji. So Balaji been to our podcast many times. This is another episode with Balaji. About Balaji, Balaji is brings over 24 years of experience in IT, including 15 plus years of experience leading agile transformation across the diverse industries. Over the course of his career, he has served as a delivery manager, delivery head, enterprise agile coach, and product manager. He currently heads the Agile, DevOps, and Enterprise AI Center of Excellence at a reputed organization, driving transformation initiatives for multiple global clients. He also founded and leads the Agile Mentorship Program, AMP, where he mentors, guides Agile professionals worldwide. He also does career coaching and mentoring for IT professionals. So let's welcome Balaj. Hey, hi Balaji.
Yeah, hi. Hello all.
How are you?
Yeah, doing good. And I believe the same is with you too.
Absolutely. Yes, we are doing good. So Balaji is from Chennai. I'm from Pune. Every weekend we record Monday new episode. That's the pattern, guys. So please watch till the end. Subscribe to my channel. Like this video. And today's episode again is going to be very, very interesting because everybody is have that fear in their mind. What is going to happen due to AI? Now, let's start with the discussion. Is AI replacing agile roles or creating new career opportunities? What is your views, Balaji?
Yeah, so first of all, thanks for actually having me here, having me here and for giving this particular golden opportunity to actually meet the larger audience through this particular podcast. So what I found in this that no, yes, AI is actually replacing a kind of the mechanical side of the agile. For example, right, we have our AI trying to automate the mechanical side of agile, like basically your backlog grooming or your refinement, your sprint reporting, creating the dashboard just by click of a button, and a ticket summarization, and capturing even the minutes of meeting, and then trying to derive know the insights out of it. However, apart from the process facilitator, if someone is having something like a design thinking, system thinking, something like an organization wide transformation capabilities, uh, uh, conflict resolution, your change management, I don't think AI is going to completely replace those aspects or dimensions of agility. So from my perspective, the question circles back to where are we currently within agile, what kind of capabilities or competency or the shades of attributes of agile what we currently possess. So from a larger perspective, the positive side is we can leverage the potential of AI so that all these kind of routine tasks, all these kind of mundane activities can be automated. So we get some good amount of quality time for higher strategy, visualization, all of those aspects. Okay, let me take a pause here. I just wanted to know your thought also so that we can bounce our thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So people are using mainly AI just for doing their automation instead of leveraging it to bring more productivity or doing something valuable deliverables out of it. Still, many of my colleagues, or not colleagues, I will say, many of my friends, they are still using AI to just to summarize the meetings, just to write an email, or create a user story or review their user story. Rightly mentioned, it can be better utilized. So that is still there. So who can do that? We are agile professional. We have that experience. We can leverage our experience as a agile coach, scrum master. We have dealt with the conflicts like Balaji just mentioned in past. Use that experience. Another thing is like training models, like trainings. We have conducted many trainings, so you can plan some training initiatives by using AI. All these things are there. So that's my views on it, Balaji.
Yeah. So before we get into the next question, I just want to highlight a very important point here.
Hmm.
Whenever it comes to AI, right, we need to be very clear about which role will be suitable me for a AI. Okay, say
Correct.
for example, you
Hmm.
have a Scrum Master or you have an Agile consultant or a coach, and sometimes people may have the feel that we may need to transition into the AI path. So before
Right.
we transition into the AI or before we start embracing AI as a augmented capability, we need to know there are four main categories in the AI role. Okay, based on my understanding. One is AI engineer. Okay.
Okay.
Second
Hmm.
is AI generalist. Third is
Right.
AI specialist. And the fourth role is a AI builder. Means AI engineer means he or she is the person who is going to build and deploy your AI systems. Okay. Now, AI generalist is someone who has the knowledge on the AI and he or she is going to bridge the AI plus product plus business and the operations. Whereas if you're taking this specialist kind of role in the AI, it is a deep expertise in one AI domain and someone who has a subject matter expertise and domain knowledge. And when you take AI builder, it is one who is actually going to create the AI product, like kind of an automation setup, AI agent setup, okay, all those things. So before we embark on the path of AI, we need to be very clear in, okay, if I'm going to embrace AI, which particular bucket I'm basically going to fit in.
Going to fit it. Right.
Once we have that clarity,
Hmm.
narrowing it down could be easier.
Correct. So well mentioned. So these are the four types
Yeah,
what
four
Balaji is
categories.
mentioning, four
Correct.
categories now. Now, if you to my audience, if you want to hear more details about these four categories, put it in the comment box. We will make another episode, full episode, just to discuss these four categories, nothing else. Let's
So,
move on.
so we can,
Yeah,
yeah, so
yeah.
we can make an episode. And by the way, I have already published a detailed LinkedIn article. So,
Correct.
so
Yeah.
once you upload this video to the YouTube, maybe in the comment section, I will share that LinkedIn article. People can actually go through it because
Mm.
any role within AI can be segmentized or bucketized or categorized into these four groups. So once
Correct.
we have that clarity,
Mm.
we may not have the feel of getting lost in the jungle of AI.
Well mentioned. Yeah. So watch this episode till the end. The video or the detail of the LinkedIn article will be posted in the comment box. Now, we are like we all started with Scrum Master roles. Now let's understand what should Scrum Master learn before everyone else does, specifically related to AI.
Okay, see, now my way of actually looking into that particular situation is whatever the Scrum Master role currently we are actually trying to do, right?
Hmm.
Is there any way to infuse or is there any way to suffuse AI into my BAU, right?
Correct.
So AI doesn't mean something else which is totally different and which is going to come from our planet Venus or Mars or Neptune, Pluto. Absolutely no.
No.
From my Monday to Friday, whatever the office work I'm trying to do, is there a way or is there a way to build a capability where I can infuse AI? Point number one, you
Hmm.
can use AI to initially um, look into the burn down chart, your program predictability measure report. You can still look into your cumulative flow diagrams and then quickly generate a summary report instead of human doing the preliminary analysis, right?
Right. Hmm.
So, for example, right, one of my previous company or client, one of my peer had actually built a product which can be plugged onto multiple ALM tools. Okay, of course, we
Okay.
still need to have the add-ins or plugins to configure it to Jira or Rally or Service Now or a ADO. But once you configure it, just by the click of a button, it is going to pull the reports of multiple teams, cross compare it, try to give some kind of a preliminary insights, and also try to give some kind of a recommendation, some kind of a remediation based upon the pattern analysis of those particular charts or graphs. So what should Scrum Master note? typically learn is,
Hmm.
instead of just focusing on finishing the task, okay, one is that how quickly I can finish the task. Can I add some kind of a leverage or some kind of a value to the customer, no, based on by actually infusing the AI. So
Hmm.
some, see, for example, basically it could be like building a small utility or some kind of a enabler or a accelerator. Agile coaches are not expected to write the code. Okay, basically, your Scrum Master, RTs, Agile coaches can might as well work together with the AI engineers, but the thought process should be that. Is there a
Correct.
better way of doing things smarter, faster, quicker, with a better cost optimization? I think that fundamental shift in the thinking need to be there.
Correct. That thinking has to be changed. I rightly mentioned, So now you only thinking in one way about managing tasks and people management and all that. But how smartly you can use AI to reduce down the work, like rightly mentioned, leverage it. Load your reports, take either a screenshot or you can download it in as a CSV. Use AI, identify the patterns. So that's what you can start with. Now
Yeah.
coming to next question.
Now, probably, I can
Uh,
give some more examples also, just
sure.
to, make it more holistic. See, for example, sometimes, in a real world scenario, it is not that a Scrum Master is only going to do a Scrum Master job. Sometimes,
Correct.
sometimes it is going to be a blend of project management with the Scrum Master capabilities. So, for some of our clients or some of our internal clients or customers or all those things, we have actually built a AI utility which will take RFP as an input, and then just by the click of a button, it will give a SOW document.
SOW document. Yes.
So we have some templatized approach to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so typically, if your RFP, see, we all know, right? Typically, what sections of the, see, an RFP is a template. SOW is also a template. We all know for sure what are all the variables in it. Only the value to the variable will come from the context. It is not that context is going to define the variable themselves in the equation, right? So there are some kind of a utilities, in-house capabilities. When I say AI, it need not be always purchasing a licensed tool from the market,
Right.
right? See, internally, it is once again going to call your GPT or your Copilot or your Claude or whatever it is. That is a different game plan. But building some kind of a utilities or a enablers. For example, if I give an RFP, probably by click of a button, it will give me a high level SOW within 1 minute maximum.
Right.
Gone are the days where people take 4 or 5 days to have back and forth calls to create a SOW. Now we create an SOW within a short span of time. Then we get into calls to sharpen it. Okay,
Right.
so the soil need to be prepared well using the AI. Then the conversation can happen to sow the seeds in it, right? You should not happen that we are actually going with a empty hands to our prospects or our potential clients, right? So
Right.
these are also AI. AI does not mean always purchasing a licensed tool and then trying to do things. So just want to call out that particular caveat here.
Balaji, coming to next question. Why are some of the agile coaches
Hmm.
becoming more valuable in the AI era?
Okay, so from my perspective, right, what I think is AI is not actually increasing the value of the agile coaches, but then AI is actually revealing us who was creating the real value in the first place.
Right.
Because let's say an agile coach is going to do 10 activities, out of which 6 things can be done by the AI now. So that remaining 4 things, what it means is we still need a human element touch. We still need a human in the loop, which we
Correct.
cannot fully
Mm.
fully bank upon AI, right?
Mhm.
So from my perspective, what I see is that AI is not going to increase the value of the no value of the coaches. However, it is going to reveal who was really creating a sustained value in the landscape. Now, why it is? But see, for example, right? As we have our agile transformation, in fact, AI is also a transformation, right? You have a
Correct.
specific
Mm.
transformation behind it, right? So, uh, because whenever a company is going to embark on a AI adoption and then going to thrive and then sustain it to a certain maturity level, we still need some kind of coaching or mentoring, some kind of a process facilitation, some kind of people who have been there and done their similar transformations. It could be digital transformation, it could be agile transformation, it could be business transformation. But that
Correct.
introducing the change mind, the change management, and then probably coaches are more needed now, like in terms of, okay, I have a AI, but how will I plug it on to my business operating model? Because a
Okay.
service industry versus a captive unit versus a product company, the fundamental value streams significantly differ. The fundamental business operating model also differ. So you still need that past experience of a human in the loop, so that to embrace, because AI can only be a force multiplier. It cannot create something on its own, right? So
No.
what is your perspective in that? I just wanted to bounce my
No,
thoughts.
no, no, agree. Absolutely. See, what
Mm,
I feel like one of the things that you mentioned, Agile coach can identify the value adder.
mm,
What are the things that is adding value? By using AI, they can identify it, amplify it,
mm,
and then make it more valuable to the not just to the your team, your customer as well as. So
mm.
that one thing I absolutely agree with you.
Mm.
Okay,
And also, right, no, see, like basically any kind of an organizational change is going to have some kind of a bottleneck,
correct,
bottlenecks, right? Because
correct,
AI adoption is not just a technology problem; it still has a people and cultural aspects behind it. So,
correct,
how are we going to bring down the resistance to change, and how are we going to drive that particular behavioral changes? How are we going to align this particular AI journey in terms of your overall leadership, vision, strategy, all those things, and most importantly, that is where human in the loop becomes more important to create a psychological safety in the first place.
correct, correct. So
Because
agile
yeah.
coaches can bring again that top down approach
Mm,
in terms of coaching, where leadership is also getting coached on how, use of or leverage of AI. Team also will be top down approach, so more team will feel more secure. Our leaders are aware what are the limitation of AI, what are the benefits of AI, what are the pros and cons. If leadership is aware, team will definitely work accordingly. If leadership is not aware about the uh, cons of AI, they will assume that AI can do everything and anything, and team will be always under pressure. Here, the role of agile coach will add a lot of value. They will help team to bring that psychological safety. Yes, AI is here, but however, everyone is aware what are the cons, what are the negative aspect around AI. Let's not be fearful about it. What are the good things? Take it, learn about it, implement it, benefit yourself, your client, your project. That's what I want to add.
Yeah. So one point which I like to bring over here is,
Hmm.
even for agile coaches nowadays, what happens? No, companies prefer someone who had worked in BFSI domain, or someone
Correct,
who had worked in healthcare domain, or someone who had worked in manufacturing domain. Point number one. Point number two is someone who had, okay, I'm just giving an example here. Someone who had worked in data analytics program, or someone who had worked in data warehouse projects. So
correct,
all that I'm trying to say is, though this particular AI and all those things are going on, being a vanilla agile coach is not the way forward. Because even in our previous episodes, we have brought this point. Because
correct,
even if you take Lisa Atkins agile coaching competency framework, it talks about so many things: facilitation, coaching, mentoring, transformation mastery, business mastery, technical mastery. We are
technical
not
mastery.
expecting that one guy should be a superhero in all the areas, but at least you need to know, okay, if I'm getting onto a data analytics program, or if I'm getting onto a data migration program, what could be the typical challenges, what could be the slippery roads, what could be the potential bottlenecks. With that experience, if you blend agile and AI, believe me, it will be a wonderful combination. Because in market
Absolutely.
you find very less people who have a combinational capabilities, like your domain to some extent. We are not expecting that they need to be domain consultants. At least you need to know if it's a BFSA domain. Okay, typically these are the checks and balances, right? Because
Right.
BFSI and healthcare, defense are highly sensitive domains, right, compared to manufacturing and retail and so, which is point number one. Second thing is, over a period of time, if you have worked in data modernization programs or cloud modernization or cloud transformation, building capabilities, all those things, you still need to have that particular background. Now, with all those background, now one of the shift what I see in the industry is something called the product thinking, not
Correct.
just project thinking, right? So we see like people talk about something like productized IT models, something like a product thinking versus a project thinking. I think these are all different colors of the rainbow. If you're good in these areas, then it becomes very difficult to replace you. If,
Absolutely agree.
yeah, because if a person is only good in agile, but zero domain knowledge, zero functional knowledge, then most likely, even an AI agent can replace us
Replace
in
you.
the long run.
Replace you. Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
those aspects we need to factor in.
Correct. Very nice. Now you brought all these angles here. Now, what are some of the skills that next 5 years some agile professional need to follow, which will have a long-term journey for them?
Okay, so to answer this question, one need to be very very good in the conflict resolution, because everywhere you
Conflicts.
go, right? Sometimes right from the SOW, RFPs, projects, bidding, budgeting, all these things. Differently, we always tend to meet people with varieties of perspectives, experiences, perceptions, and conflict is something which you cannot avoid. So we need to have that capability to how to resolve a
Conflict.
conflict, factoring the dynamics of the engagement. Okay,
Correct.
understanding the theory of constraints also, which is very important. Definitely, one need to be extremely good in facilitation if it comes to coaching consulting. Then one need to be good in the systems thinking approach, not just
Correct.
having a silo mentality. Look into the end-to-end flow and then go for optimization. Then some kind of product thinking, some kind of organizational design, some kind of change management, value stream optimization, stakeholder engagement. See, I think from the version 6 of the PIMBOK, they have rephrased stakeholder management to stakeholder engagement. You should not be
Engagement.
managing them. You need to be engaging them, right? In terms of your decision making processes. And one more important thing is how to make a decision when you have uncertainty. Because life is not very easy like you have all the inputs given to you, right? So there will be some kind of a situations where one need to take a calculated risk or a trade-off call. I think taking trade-off calls are something which you cannot give it to a AI just like that, right? So these are all some of the things what I feel. Maybe you can add more to that based on maybe
No,
your.
that's pretty much, I guess we pretty much covered. Also, one of the things is leadership and
Mm.
mentoring and coaching. There will be lot of leadership kind of a activity will be required. See, people will be always under pressure because of introduction of AI. There will be always fearful. So you have to influence them with your leadership skills, saying, giving them the right path, coaching them on the right track. That will always help. Okay, so these are some of the keys, but Balaji really summarized it very nicely. Conflict management, then the stakeholder engagement. These are the very essential skills going to be stay there next 5 years. So learn about those.
Yeah. Now, two more things. Two more things. I just want to add it over here. To some extent, right? If you want to have conversation or if you need to have some kind of a deeper conversation with the leadership team, at least one should know basic financial metrics.
Correct. That is true.
Because see, EBIT, EBITDA, and PAT, these are all basic terms, right? PAT means profit after tax. You cannot go to a CXO or you cannot go to a CTO, CIO, CFO kind of a guy and then talk about Jira, velocity, burn down chart, your sprint and releases. They will be interested in go-to-market strategy, improvement in the CSAT score, all those kind of things. So so I used to keep it telling this from 2020-21 in my YouTube videos. Whenever you talk about outcomes, you have two main outcomes. One is called as an agile outcome, second is called as a business outcome. right?
Business outcome. Right.
So we also need to talk about business outcome, because it is because the leadership team is interested in the business outcomes.
Right.
Agile AI is a means to that end. Okay, so which is point number one. The another important thing, because I want to use this opportunity to share that thought. Another important thing is, whenever no, I get frequent calls from multiple people, no, ping me on WhatsApp asking me for some career coaching or a mentoring or some kind of a guidance to bounce their thoughts. People always look into only the market trend and they look into their career trajectory. I say, I may not say this is incorrect, but definitely it has some gaps or a lack now. For example,
Mm.
okay, if you take a paper pen and then try to visualize it, draw three circles: circle A, circle B, circle C, and all these three circles are going to have a intersection, like
Correct.
what we used to do in our set theory Venn diagram: A
Venn
intersection,
diagram.
B
Yes.
intersection, C. The circle A is basically your passion. What does your heart says? What do you want to really wanted to do in your career? Just because your cousin brother had become an AI consultant, or just because your neighbor had did some certification, we should not blindly get carry forwarded by it. We need to see what makes me interesting, which is point number one:
Mm.
passion. The second circle is what kind of skills or capabilities come naturally to you, right? See, some people will be good in writing code. Some people will be good in process management, program management, people management. We cannot expect them to swap the roles, right? A.R. Rahman is a A.R. Rahman, Sachin Tendulkar is a Sachin Tendulkar, right? Same thing here. What skills come naturally to you, or what capabilities you can learn within a short span of time? That need to be put in the second circle. So first circle is a list which is going to contain your passion. Second circle is what kind of skills or capabilities you have, or what will come naturally to you. Now the point to be kept in mind is, we cannot monetize it, right? We cannot monetize it just with passion and your skills. We also need to have a market demand for it, right?
Correct.
So the
Mm.
third circle is a market demand. Now, all that I wanted the audience to do is just pick up a paper pen and draw three circles. One is passion, second is my skills or capabilities, third is the market demand. Go for whatever comes at the intersection of all these three circles. Believe me, you will be thriving in your career month after month, year after year.
Absolutely. Very well explain this activity. So to my audience, do this activity and put your results in the comment box. Let's move on to the next question now. You already discussed a little bit about it, coding and all that. So if we don't know coding, so what, how can experienced professional move into AI without coding full time? So if I,
Hmm.
so can I learn a little bit of coding and do it? Is it possible?
See, it actually depends on the aptitude of the person. No, see, for
Right,
example, if I'm an agile coach, probably I can try to become a AI product manager, but I cannot become a data scientist.
right.
See, because data scientist goes deep dive into your TensorFlow, your Kira, statistics, mathematical modeling, principal component analysis. It's a huge subject in itself. So, okay, and by the way, nowadays we have, instead of for the people who are not comfortable to code, we have something called as a no code approach or a low code approach.
No low code approach, right?
Okay, something like that, right? But the point what I'm trying to say is, you need to find avenues of alternative possibilities, right? If I'm an agile coach, what other alternatives I have on my career trajectory wherein I can leverage this existing capability at least 50 percentage, 60 percentage, right? So to answer to your question, definitely roles like a data analyst and a data science may not work out for an agile coach or a consultant, because you asked the
Correct.
question, what in the AI world without coding.
Without coding, yes.
Probably we can go for a AI product manager. And
Right.
even in the delivery management, we still have some roles like a delivery lead for AI transformation or a AI solutioning kind of a thing. So even to get answer to this question, no, once we do the previous that activity of drawing the three circles and trying to find the intersection space, I think that will answer this question better.
Mm. Right.
What do you
Absolutely.
say?
Yes. 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 Absolutely agree. So put it in the in that three circles and see what are the results come out. So if you are really have that hunger or that aptitude of coding, you can do so many things. But if you are not willing to do coding, then other avenues like product management or even team management can open for you.
Yeah,
Right.
and one more role which is currently coming up is someone
Mm.
who can take care of responsible AI, means
Right.
governance.
Governance.
Because see, AI, the other side of the AI is someone need to make sure that it is not violating any compliance checks and balances, right? So if you are a process guy and if you have some kind of a PMO background, some kind of a QA background, definitely one can get into a role of a AI governance lead or something like that. Okay,
Absolutely, yes.
so for that reason only, when we started this particular discussion, I clearly mentioned that four buckets. You remember AI builder, AI engineer, AI specialist, and the AI generalist. Now, what we need to do is whatever the JD comes in the market, try to put it in the respective buckets and then see which bucket is more closer to you. Boiling the ocean will not help us.
Will not help us. Absolutely. Well said. Yes, yes. Do not try to do too many things, guys. Yeah. Do not put your head and hands in multiple buckets. Think wisely, use that circles, plan ahead, talk to experts like Balaji, and then only make a decision. Okay. Do not try to do 10 things at one time. Okay. Now coming on to our last question. If like our viewers mainly are Scrum Masters or people who are in early project manager or test manager roles are mainly our or our viewers. What is the one thing or one move they should do after watching this video? Only one move.
See, first of all, they need to do that particular activity and then see what particular roles will actually help them. Second thing, don't plan for too many things in the future also, because the world is moving at a very fast rate. You planning for 5 years and 7 years, that it does not make any relevance.
Right.
Maximum plan for it 2 years and create some quarterly goals. Once in 4 months, you may need to revisit the goal and then see how are you progressing. And and most importantly, weekly once at least, do some kind of a introspection, do some kind of a
Yeah.
retrospection on the previous week. Okay, what I did, probably what are the areas where I could have done better, and have a coach or a mentor to whom you can brainstorm your thoughts.
Absolutely. I absolutely like the thought of having only 2 years plus quarterly planning. You know, what are you? Don't plan too much ahead. Plan something quarterly and reflect on it on frequent basis. Okay. Hope all the tips, all the ideas shared by Balaji was very helpful. At least for me also, is very, very helpful. So with this, we'll end our episode here. From the entire audience of Agile Exploration Hub, I would like to say thank you to Balaji for being such a wonderful speaker. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Cheers. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye bye. See you in the next episode.